Pull yourself together, Jess. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel if you are a subscriber. If you're not, hello for the first time. This might be a bit of a strange first video to watch of mine, just because a lot of the context you need to kind of watch the other video I did about my health. I think it's called my comeback video or something like that. Anyway, so I keep promising that I'd do a health update as soon as I knew more, and now I know more, so here I am. It's a weird one. I don't really know where to start because it's like just so complicated, and yeah, so I'm just going to start basically by saying that the last few weeks I've been really unwell. I know I said it in my last couple of videos, but I literally have been basically bedridden, just in so much pain, just so unwell, and yeah, it's been really hard and it's been really getting to me. So I guess I'm going to kind of start at the very beginning, would be like to talk about things that have happened my whole life. So I have had some symptoms or some health issues that didn't seem related, and none of my doctors thought they were related, but it turns out they are. So the things that I've kind of suffered with my whole entire life are migraines, and these are really severe. Like, I projectile vomit, I completely lose my vision sometimes, as in I go completely blind. I get all of the like spots and everything that a lot of people get with migraines. The pain is just unbearable. I'm often in bed for 2 whole days, unable to eat, unable to move, can't have any light on me. It's just hell on earth basically. So I've suffered with migraines my whole life, and now I'm on medication where I take 3 tablets every single day, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now. And then I have also like special tablets to take if I get a migraine attack. So yeah. Another thing has been sinus problems. I've had sinus problems my whole entire life, like just sinus infection after sinus infection. Last year it got really severe to the point where basically for a long time now I haven't been able to breathe through my nose. It's completely closed up. I cannot breathe, cannot really smell, which is obviously not very pleasant. And it's also been really painful. Like, it feels like I've been punched in the face. I get pain all under here and obviously all over my nose. And at the beginning of this year, in January, I was diagnosed with chronic rhinitis, which is basically that the lining of my nose here is so inflamed that my nose is closed up. And we were looking into possibly having surgery for it, me and my doctors, but then other stuff kind of came up. Other things I've kind of had my whole life are like really random. Like, I've always suffered really bad with mouth ulcers, which again we thought wasn't related, turns out it is. I just get them all the time. Like, I literally get them all the time, and they're huge and they're painful and they take ages to go, and I always thought that I just got them when I was run down, but it turns out I get them way too frequently, and yeah, they're too bad. So I get really bad mouth ulcers. I also have acid reflux, which I've had since 2013. I got diagnosed with that, which is basically like all the acid from my stomach just comes back up this way, so it like burns my throat. It's really painful, and I'm on tablets for that. And then the last thing was just that, like, sporadically throughout my life I've randomly come out in rashes, and I always just put it down to that I've got really sensitive skin. I tell everyone I've got really sensitive skin, which I have. Like, I'll use the wrong product, especially like washing powders. I just don't change my washing powder now, because if I was to change it, I would break out in a rash. And then yeah, I just randomly broke out with it a few times when I was younger. My mum took me to the doctors, and they basically said that they thought it was urticaria, which is essentially like hives. So it turns out that it wasn't. It was something else. So all of those things I've had throughout my life, but like, I know it sounds like a lot to be dealing with, and it is, but if you've dealt with it for so long, you just get used to it. And I've been dealing with all of those things, and I've had the right medication for all of those things. From about, I guess it's been about a year now, I've been suffering with some other things that have been like just come out of the blue, and they've been really worrying. These include, like, I've had really bad joint and muscle pain, my joints just seize up, and sometimes it's my shoulders, sometimes it's my elbows, my wrists, my knees, my hips. It's really bad first thing in the morning, like when I get up out of bed, I basically can't walk. I have to take a very long time to get my body ready to put weight on my legs, because my joints just can't take it, and they're really, really painful. And then I also get really bad muscle pain, like just constant muscle aches. So basically I just ache head to toe, and I've been dealing with that, yeah, for about a year now. It kind of started just with my back, and I just honestly thought that that was a recurring thing from when I was in a car accident many years ago. So I had really bad back problems then, and they said that they could maybe come back and flare up, so I just thought it was that. But then yeah, like I said, my shoulders, my elbows, my knees, everything started hurting, and then I obviously knew something was wrong. Another thing I've been dealing with for probably since kind of Christmas time, maybe just before that, is chronic fatigue. Now, I've heard people talk about this before, and I never really got it. I always just thought, like, how tired can one person be? Well, it turns out, very fucking tired. Chronic fatigue is not tiredness, it's something else. Like, at the moment, the last few weeks, and I've been feeling really unwell, I'm literally sleeping about 14 hours every single night for 3 weeks straight. And then by about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I could nap. Like, I'm exhausted, I could fall asleep again. Often I do fall asleep. I'm just exhausted constantly, and it doesn't matter what I do, nothing helps. And trust me, like I said, it's been an ongoing thing. So I've worked with so many different doctors now on like how to help these symptoms, and trust me, nothing has been working. Another couple of things I've dealt with since the beginning of this year is my periods have just completely vanished. I just like they like kind of disappeared, down to it just being that I'd have a period for one day and it was like non-existent, and now I just don't have periods. And the other thing is, and that's never happened to me before, I was always really regular. Yeah, so that's obviously worrying. I did go for a test to see, because they thought I had polycystic ovaries, and I don't. They also thought I had endometriosis, and I don't. I've been tested for loads of things basically, for that, because obviously it's really worrying. And another thing is like shortness of breath. So I get really bad pain if I breathe all the way in. My chest just is agony. But I also get this horrible feeling where like I just can't breathe. It's like someone's just sucked all the air from the room and I cannot breathe. And everyone thought it was like, oh, you're just worn out, like where you're ill and all the other things are going on. Is it just that you can't catch your breath because you're really unwell? But it's not. I could just literally be sitting on the sofa or sitting in the cinema, for instance, watching a film, and halfway through I just can't breathe. And it's like I've run a marathon. And I have had my chest x-rayed, and it all came back clear. Another thing that was really alarming, that basically has sparked my GP to where I am now, is that I broke out in the beginning of this year in this horrific rash, and I am going to include pictures, so if you're squeamish, maybe look away. But I just don't think people get it when you say a rash. They just think like, oh, it's like a patch and it's red and it's itchy. No, I literally was covered head to toe, all over my face, inside my ears, all over my bits, all over my boobs, everywhere, head to toe covered in this rash. And it felt like sunburn. It felt like I had really severe sunburn, that horrible like hot burning sensation I just had constantly. And this kept coming up and then going again, and we figured out that the reason it was going was because antihistamines didn't work to get rid of it, but steroids did. But obviously at the time I couldn't be put on more than 7 days worth of steroids, so I'd be put on it and it'd go, and then literally the day I'd come off them, I'd flare up again. And then one time I had a really scary episode where I broke out in the rash, woke up covered in it. And then also my lips, like my mouth, just blew up. My lips were huge, my tongue was all swollen, and it was on the weekend, and I called 111 and said, what do I do? Like, I can't obviously see my doctor, but I'm panicking because like my mouth is all swollen. And they called a paramedic to come to me. They called an ambulance, and I was like, don't call an ambulance, I'm fine, like I don't want all the fuss, I'm fine. But she was like, no, because it could be anaphylaxis or anaphylactic shock. And so they came running in, ready to stab me with adrenaline, thinking that I was in anaphylactic shock, and obviously I wasn't. And they just kind of spoke through with me my other symptoms and stuff, and they wrote me a prescription for more tablets, and yeah, basically that was horrific. And the last symptom was something I did address in my other video, which was that this year I randomly gained so much weight. Like, I'd say in kind of like the end of summer last year, like till Christmas, I'd gained a bit of weight. I'd gone up 1 dress size, and I just put it down to that I'd been through some very traumatic things, and that maybe, you know, because of that, like stress obviously is really bad for your body, and it makes your body hold on to weight. And also, like, I was comfort eating because of all the stress that my camera just cut out for no apparent reason, so I don't really know where I was there, but basically, yeah, I gained a bit of weight at the end of last year, and just put it down to that I'd been through some really traumatic things. I lost 2 loved ones within a week of each other. I had some other stuff happening that I'm not going to talk about at this moment in time, but yeah, basically I had a lot of trauma. So I just put it down to that, you know, don't be too hard on yourself. So what, you've gone up 1 dress size, like who cares? I went from a size like 8 to 10 to a 12, and I was just like, just give a shit. Like, I've got so much else going on, my weight is the last of my problems. But then beginning of this year came, and I was gaining weight, like, I can't even explain to you how rapidly. Like, one day I'd fit something, the next day I wouldn't fit it. And like I said in my last video, I went to the doctors loads about it, I saw a dietitian, and it ended up that like for a few weeks in a row, I put on 7 pounds in a week. And literally, I can't even explain to you how healthily I was eating, and I was going to the swimming or gym 5 times a week. There was no need for it, basically. And my boyfriend lives with me, and even he was just like, because I feel like a lot of people think you're lying when you're putting on weight, but you say you're eating healthy, they're like, oh, I'm sure you are. But even my boyfriend was like, I have no idea, like, because all I see her eat is like good, healthy, clean food. I don't understand. And I didn't understand, and I think you could tell in the last video like how down I was about it and how frustrated I was finding it. It was awful, and one of the worst things I'm struggling with at the moment is that because I gained so much weight so quickly, I'm now covered in stretch marks. And before this year, I've never had a stretch mark in my entire life, not one singular stretch mark. And now I'm covered in them, and I am my own worst enemy. I see other people with stretch marks all the time, and I literally couldn't care less. I don't think anything when I notice them. I don't notice them a lot of the time, but on me, I think because it's just such a change in my body so quickly, like put on so much weight so quickly, and then I'm covered in the stretch marks, and because they're fresh, they're really like purple and red and angry at the moment, and I'm so pale that I just feel like they really stand out. Like the worst ones at the moment that bother me are on my arm. I don't know if you can see there. They really bother me because obviously it's hot, and like I want to wear vest tops and not be hot and clammy, but I'm so self-conscious of them because I'm just not used to them. I honestly just feel like basically my body's been completely destroyed this year, and I'm obviously really depressed about it. It's fucking miserable. I don't like the way I look still, I'm really uncomfortable, blah blah blah. Anyway, so to do with the weight gain, my doctor has put me on these tablets that basically, this is a bit graphic, sorry if it's too much information, but essentially I shit out all of the fat in my food. And since being on them, I've lost 4 kilograms in a month. I think that's like 8 pounds. Basically she's happy with the weight that I'm losing. I'm happy with the weight that I've lost. But I've come to a bit of a standstill again, and it's really frustrating, but now we kind of know why. I just want to say as well that those tablets, like, I've had really annoying reactions to those tablets. People being like, oh, give me some, let me lose weight. You don't want to fucking be on these tablets, like, they're horrendous. If you're a normal person and you, like, this might sound like I'm not a normal person, but if you don't have any health issues, and you can lose weight the normal way, then do that. Like, that's what I was trying so hard to do for literally like 6 months, I was doing what a normal person would do to lose weight, and it just wasn't working. And these tablets, trust me, are no walk in the park. They're horrific. They make you shit out fat. Like, does that sound pleasant to you? And also, think about what's going on inside your body for those tablets to be pulling out all of the fat from your food. It also means that now I have to take a shit ton of vitamins because I'm not getting the nutrients from any food, which adds to the tiredness. It's not nice. So please don't say to me, oh, let me have some of those tablets, or oh, those tablets sound great. They're not fucking great. Trust me, they're horrible. But basically, so all of these things obviously flared up to my GP as really, really worrying, like I said in my last video, and she told me back then, months ago, that she had an inkling that it was maybe something. And I've been having tests done, and it's a very complicated thing that she thinks I have. And basically, I went to the hospital. I was back in hospital 2 days ago, and I have been diagnosed now. It's definite. I have lupus, and it's really weird saying out loud, and I feel like I'm getting upset, which is weird because I haven't got upset yet about it, but I don't know. Sorry. Whew. Okay, pull yourself together, Jess. Yeah, I have lupus. All of these symptoms are on the checklist of symptoms for lupus. I literally basically have every single symptom of lupus, and it's very rare and it's very unknown still. I had heard of it only because I used to know someone that had it, and the only thing I knew about it was that she lost her hair. But my doctor kind of sat down with me back then and said, I really do think this is what you have. I've gone through your medical history, everything adds up. I think, you know, you've always had it, it's just something's triggered it now, probably all the trauma you've been through. Yeah, so I know that it's really unknown and like confusing, and I'm really lucky because GPs often won't diagnose people with it or won't even mention it, but mine did, and I'm so grateful to her because now I've had all the correct testing. And I know it sounds weird to be like, I'm grateful that now I know I have this awful disease, but I am, because in my mind I'm trying to be positive and think that at least if I know what it is, I can be on the right treatment for it. I can get the right medication, I can get the right help, and I can, you know, maybe feel better. So I'll tell you a bit, I guess, about lupus if you don't know what it is. But basically lupus is an autoimmune disease, and so basically my body is creating anti-nuclear antibodies, and a shit ton of them, and it's attacking itself. My body is attacking itself and like shutting down because my body thinks there's something wrong when there isn't. My body sees like normal healthy cells as a threat and is attacking them. So yeah, basically my body's just like fucking itself over. And I mean, externally, this illness, this disease, this illness has turned me into a fucking troll. Like, it makes my skin break out in this horrible rash. Like, I know I'm wearing makeup right now, so you might not necessarily be able to see it, but I constantly, at the moment, have this, what they call a butterfly rash, that most people with lupus get. And it's like this rash here, that obviously looks like a butterfly. And it looks all bumpy. I think to someone that didn't know, it would just look like I've got really bad acne, and I'm really, really conscious of it. And it's sore as well. It's not even just that like it looks horrible, it's really sore, it's really unpleasant, it's just horrible. And it makes my scalp dry and flaky, and my hair's like just gone crazy. They call it lupus hair, and I literally have it. My hair's just gone wild. Like at the moment I've straightened it and put a shit ton of product on it, but like it is just like frizzy, brittle, horrible. It's just horrible. It makes my nails all like brittle and gross. It just has it's made me gain weight, it's covered me in stretch marks, it's made me this ugly little troll, and on the inside it's causing me pain and agony, and I'm like bedridden a lot of the time, because, you know, I have this fucking disease. I don't think it's necessarily fully sunk in yet, my family have all been really upset since we found out, and I really haven't. And they've been all trying to say like, oh, you're being so positive. But I honestly just think like it was a shock hearing it, but it wasn't a surprise. Because when my GP said it to me and like she looked it up in front of me and went through all the symptoms, everything clicked into place. For me it was like, oh, that's why I've suffered with all these things my whole life. That's why I've been going through hell for the last year. That's why I'm in pain. That's why I'm so tired. Because I've just been really beating myself up and going, you're lazy, you're fat, you're useless. Get up, work out every day, and I physically can't. And I've been really hard on myself because I've not known why, so I've just put it down to that I'm not good enough. And now I know that it's not. Like, I genuinely have this problem that's making me this way. And for now, there's nothing I can do about it. So I don't know if like, because obviously just saying it's a disease, you know, that could mean anything. And I know I've explained a bit, but basically now where I'm at is that I have to go and meet with a rheumatologist on a frequent basis. And first of all, we need to figure out how bad my lupus is. So there's like, from what I can gather, and obviously I've only just found out I have it 2 days ago, but from what I can gather, there's different strains of lupus. You have kind of like simple lupus, and then you have like lupus with organ involvement, which is what my doctor thinks I have. It's fine, guys, it's fine. Just throw my phone, it's fine. There's lupus with organ involvement, which basically means that my organs are at risk of organ failure because obviously my body's just shutting them down. The main things at risk are my kidneys, my skin, my heart, my lungs, and my brain. Now I know I said my chest x-ray came back fine, so for now my lungs are fine, but a lot of people with lupus get shrinking lungs, where literally their lungs like shrink. The capacity goes severely down, and obviously it's really hard to breathe, and that can be very dangerous, blah blah blah. It is a life-threatening disease, it is, and at the moment I don't know how bad mine is. So at the moment I'm seeing it as ignorance is bliss. I'm obviously praying that like there's no severe damage done to my organs at the moment, although I do have this awful feeling just because I'm very in tune with myself and my body, and the whole time I've been feeling all these things, I've been telling everyone like I just feel like it's something really serious. I just know in my body, like I just have never felt this unwell in my entire life. I've never felt this incapable of doing things. Something is wrong, and obviously I was right. And as much as like I don't want to have organ involvement, I don't want my organs to be failing and like have to have chemo, because like a lot of people have to have chemotherapy with lupus. I don't want to have all of that, obviously, but some days I say to my boyfriend, I just feel like I'm dying. Like, I just do. I just feel that unwell. And so obviously I'm terrified. And I'm now scared about things like when I have kids, because people with lupus, if you get pregnant, you're automatically a high risk pregnancy. And then what if I pass it on to my kids? Does that mean I just shouldn't have kids? Should I not have kids because I don't want to pass it on to them, or the possibility that I will? You know, I'm terrified about that. I said in one of my videos, I want 6 kids. Like, I want a huge family. All of it is so unknown, and I guess that's what makes it scary at the moment. But I'm trying to see it, like I said, is that ignorance is bliss, and for now we don't know. So I might not. I might be fine. My organs might all be intact. And hopefully I'll be on the right medication, and you know, I'll start feeling a bit better. So yeah, I have lupus. You know, feel free to kind of look it up yourself. There's so much information about it on the internet. There's like lupus.org is a really good website, really helpful. A lot of my family and friends that I do know already about this have been like doing their research on that website, because there's a lot of info for like living with people or loved ones that have it and understanding the illness. It's really scary. I'm going through something that's really scary. You know, as a 25-year-old you feel invincible. You feel completely invincible. You feel like nothing can touch you. You're going to be fine. You're going to live forever. And then to find out that might not be the case, it's incomprehensible really, isn't it? Like, I don't know. It's scary. I'm scared. But it is what it is. And I really wanted to make this video because obviously I've been promising to do an update, and I got so much love from the last video that genuinely that dug me out of a very dark place. That all the love that I got from the last video about my health, I was overwhelmed. The messages I received, the people on Facebook like commenting on it, the comments on the actual video pulled me out of a very, very dark place. Made me feel good about myself again, made me feel positive, made me feel loved and cared about, and it was just wonderful. And as much as I'm not just solely doing it for that, I just feel like, you know, I owe all those people that bothered to worry about me and are still worried about me an explanation, and I'm much better at describing it whilst talking rather than writing it down. So I thought I'd do this video, but also now that I have it, I really want to do videos about lupus, because any raising awareness for this horrible disease that is so unknown still is important. I've already said to my boyfriend and my family that I really want to give blood to like the lupus charities, because I'm quite a rare case in that like women are more common to get lupus, but it's not often white European women. So if I can, you know, give my blood and they can do tests and figure things out and get more info, then I want to help in any way possible. I don't want anyone to have to wait as long as I have to figure out what's wrong and be in this much pain and not know why, and have their whole body change and not know why. I just want to help, and I want to really do videos that are going to inform people. I want to really help and raise awareness. So that's my intention, I guess, for this video, to obviously let everyone know that knows me what's going on with me, but also to help and raise awareness in the long run. So yeah, I don't really know like how to end this video. Like, how do you end a video like this? It just still feels really weird to say out loud that I have lupus. It feels really weird. But yeah, basically I'm going through hell. I'm in pain all the time. I can't control what my body's doing at all in terms of it gains weight, it loses weight, it does what it wants. I break out in a rash, it goes away, comes back in a different like way. Some days I wake up and I can't walk, other days I wake up and I feel great. It's very confusing and it's really hard, and I do really need all the love and support that I can get at the moment. And I'm not ashamed to ask for that. So yeah, just, you know, again, I'm going to end it kind of like I did the other one. Just be kind to people. I think a lot of people that have seen me recently, spoken to me recently, and some of my closest friends have no clue how hard it is and how hard what I'm going through is and how much I'm struggling. I'm very good at putting on a brave face and downplaying things, but this sucks. So yeah, just be kind to everyone, because you have no idea what people are going through. I guess that's it. I hope you're all having a wonderful week, and like normal standard Jess videos will resume next week. Yeah, please give this video a big thumbs up, show me all the love you've got to give. I'll see you again soon. Bye!